Welcome back to Lingoni English. My name's Brian. In this video, we'll talk about actions that other people do with the words she, he, and it, and actions done by two or more people.
This is Sam. This is Sam's school, and this is Sam's home. Sam goes to school during the week. He walks to school, and after school, Sam walks home.
This is Jeff. Jeff is a cashier, and he works at a store. Jeff does not walk to work, though. Jeff drives to work. And after work, he drives home. Sometimes he rides a bike to work.
This is Kate. Kate is a doctor. She works at a hospital. Kate doesn't walk or drive to work. She takes public transit. Sometimes Kate rides her bike to work.
Let's see what you remember. How does Sam go to school? Does he drive or does he walk? He walks. How does Jeff go to work? Does he drive or does he take public transit? He drives. How do Kate and Jeff sometimes go to work? Sometimes they ride bikes.
How do we get around our city?
We don't drive and we don't ride bikes.
But we walk and we take public transit. In the present tense, most verbs do not change much. For example, I walk, you walk, he walks, she walks, it walks, we walk, they walk. You'll notice they're all the same, except for he, she, and it. They add an S at the end of walks.
Note that when a word ends with the sound s, z, sh, ch, or j, you add an es to the end of the word. Let's look at some examples. This is a dishwasher. It washes cups. It washes plates. It washes dishes. Notice that you do not say it washes, you say it washes. Let's look at all of the conjugations or forms of this verb. So, I wash, you wash, she washes, he washes, it washes. We wash, you wash, they wash. Some other examples are mix becomes mixes, kiss becomes kisses, and watch becomes watches.
Let's look at another verb, eat. I, you, we, they eat, but he, she, it eats. In the sentence, it washes dishes, notice we say it because a dishwasher is not a person or an animal. We say he or she when talking about people and sometimes animals, especially pets, like Zoe.
Let's take a look at a question, a positive statement, and a negative statement of some of these verbs. So, for example, my friends walk to work. Do they drive to work? No, they don't drive to work. They walk to work. Here we have the question, do they drive to work? The negative statement, no, they don't drive to work. And the positive statement, they walk to work. Note that in a question, the word do comes first. Do they drive to work? But in a negative statement, the word don't comes before the verb. They don't drive to work.
Let's look at another example with Sam again. Does Sam drive to school? No, he doesn't. He walks to school. Again, in question form, the word does comes first. Does Sam drive to school? In the answer, doesn't comes before the verb. He doesn't drive. Notice with questions or statements with does or doesn't, there's no S at the end of the main verb. For example, you say, does he drive to school? Not, does he drives to school? You can imagine that the S at the end of drives moves to the end of does.
Also note that do and don't are used with the words I, you, we, and they. So in a question form, you could say, do I walk? Do you walk? Do we walk? Do they walk? Does and doesn't, however, are used with the words she, he, and it. In the negative, you say, I don't, you don't, she doesn't, he doesn't, it doesn't, we don't, you don't, they don't. So for example, I don't drive, he doesn't drive. How do you get around? Do you walk, ride a bike, drive, or take public transit? Comment below. Thanks for watching Lingoni English. Take care. With we, they, us, or something. Jeff does not drive to work. Yes, he does.